Hey nature lovers, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kayla and this is Nature Will Nurture. I talk about houseplants, native plants, and medicinal plants on this channel, so if that interests you, please like and subscribe, and let's begin. Yeah, Leela? So today I wanted to show another informal house tour. I did a plant rearrangement of this room last weekend, and so some things have moved around, and I thought I'd show you what has moved. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it above and below, so that if you wanted to watch the informal tour and also the previous informal tour, and also the plant rearrangement that I did. Leela's already coming at my leg. So you might see me pick at some leaves or water some plants as we go along. So in case you hadn't seen my previous informal tour from about a month ago, I showed the rest of my house, where I have my plants, and if they needed watering, I went around and watered plants. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to focus on the plant room and kind of just show things around. Show around things that I have. I don't know. So up top, I have two different varieties of spider plants. I have a third one right here. This, I think, is like Hawaiian, Chlorophytum comosum Hawaiian. Oh, I have a question mark there. Hawaiian, maybe? It's the all-green straight leaf variety. And then I also have the variegated, marginal variegated spider plants, and then the one that you see most of the time, which is where the white stripe is in the middle. Then I have the curly spider plant here, Bonnie, and this is the one that you would normally find with the white stripe in the middle as well. On the other side of the room, I have an all-green curly leaf variety. So those are my spider plants. Yeah, so let's see, what needed watering? I went around and watered, splashed some things. So my orchid cactus, I need to look up the scientific name. I don't know what color the flowers are yet, but my orchid cactus needed water. This feels like it needs water. I probably should water it. Starfish sansevieria. My Ripsalis paradoxa needed watering today. This is my camouflage plant. It's not looking so good these days. Apparently when it was outside over the summer, because when we moved, everything was outside, and had to wait until I got the shelves up and everything and got this room sort of planned. And so everything was inside by end of September, I think. But in the meantime, this was a very popular plant to be nibbled on, and it's been somewhat dormant since, and that's fine. I know this plant goes through dormancy in the wintertime, so I'm just hoping it comes back next time. So this is a camouflage plant. It's Dromiopsis maculata. Haworthia needed some water today. My jades needed water today. This is my Hoya carrii. This I just moved from I moved last week. My Euphorbia millii, this big one, was here before, but you can see it's thirsty, so this was just moved, and I need to water it again, actually. I don't know if I watered it last weekend, I can't remember. So my Hoya carrii I had on the opposite wall in more of a low light area, pretty much, so I hope this will be better. I just have to keep up on watering it. My asparagus plumosa, or cetaceous, I can't remember which species it's called, but it put out this long tendril recently, so I'm hoping the higher light will keep it from doing that for much longer. It is right up there. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, my little oxalis triangularis. This is a plant that I got from a coworker I used to work with. Her family, I think the story behind it is that she snuck it into the country. She's from Poland, I think. I'm trying to remember where she's from. And she snuck this into the US, I guess. Now it's available everywhere, but I feel like I don't see the one with the light purple on the inside as often when I see them in the stores. And you'll see this very leggy plant beside it, my Senecio macroglossus, the variegated wax ivy plant. I've only just started really keeping up with watering this plant. Surprisingly needed more water than I thought it did. And so I've cut it back somewhat. I'm keeping some of the longer ones going still, but I cut it back so there's some new growth from the base. Yeah, just trying to keep up with watering it. Terracotta might not have been the best choice for my watering style for this plant. My Peperomia incana, very fuzzy. I think it was getting a little too much light. It was over there before, so I'm hoping moving this down. I think it's actually hadn't been getting too much light. I also moved my, really troublesome. I need to prune some of it back. It does have thrips, so I do worry about the plants below, but I think I treated it, with systemic, so hopefully that'll start kicking in soon. And I should probably treat everything below just as a precaution. But it definitely needs some more light from above, so I moved it here from next to the window where it doesn't get any top-down light. And also prune some of these really leggy stems back. The leggiest ones for sure should be cut back. And I'm not sure if I'll try to propagate it or what, but we'll see where it goes. Same with this one, it got really leggy. I've been pruning it back since fall, ever so slowly, trying to give away or sell some cuttings. So it's got some new growth coming in that's coming up from the top more so. Does need repotting. I don't like the soil it's in anymore. Some of this is moved. I brought this coleus down from the shelf up top on the other wall, so maybe it'll get some more light down here. I know it's still pretty far down, but I'm not the best at keeping up watering, so my thirstier plants tend to get put a little further away from light so that they're not as thirsty as frequently. This new corner, I moved this light here in the rearrangement weekend and started putting some plants down here. I feel like pictures and video don't do it justice. It's really a neat corner, and maybe the video will do it better than the pictures I've taken. We'll see when I'm going through and watching this again. But it's almost like a little jungle back here. You've got a little bit of the serrated leaf shining through with the texture, and got the dark foliage of this Macaulay's finale. You've got the little foliage of the Ficus benjamina here, and also dark foliage from the ZZ Raven back there. If I can the ZZ Raven there. And yeah, just lots of colors and textures back here. I think it's really neat. And I brought the light in so that the plants could get some better light, since this coffee tree is blocking a lot of the light from the grow light up there. This is a new plant from the Van Atta's video, so if you haven't seen that, I'll link that as well. Van Atta's is a greenhouse. And so this is Farfugium. The cultivar was Shishi Botan, so it's funky. Needs a lot of water. Lower light plant, so that's always a bonus. Got a little cat toy here, fun. My Calathea Musaica, or network, That was from the Costa Farms Trending Tropicals line. So it's a ZZ Raven. You know, I don't have a whole lot of money to spend on a single plant. I'd rather be smarter about the way I spend my money. And see, I kind of jumped down pretty quickly from up there, but there will be more tours like this. I like doing these, talking, just showing you around the room. This was a plant in my last houseplant tour that was in the front room in the living room, and it started losing foliage. You can see it's getting pretty leggy, so it's in here to hopefully maybe get a little bit boost of some brighter light. And I'll probably prune that down as well come spring, hopefully. Go me, stay confident. This is my Dracaena marginata tricolor, I think is the name it goes by. This one actually came from my grandmother, and it's still growing strong. Oh yeah, I meant to do a shout out to my grandma. She called me this past week and told me she really enjoyed my videos, and it's been really good to see me and hear me because of the pandemic. I haven't seen them in well over a year, so you know, I think it was probably Thanksgiving or so the year before, in 2019 maybe, that I last saw them. So yeah, hopefully I get to see them soon. I miss you guys, love you guys. I posted a picture of it to Instagram this past week, I think. My Anthurium Barkley is how it was sold to me. Or Ergursii might have also been what I found. Possibly a name for, because Barkley doesn't come up with much beyond you know, if you're going to purchase it. But as a scientific name, I don't think it's accurate. But it's in flower right now, and you can see hundreds of little flowers. Too bad it's, well, I guess, I mean, I have some flowering florist or anthuriums in bloom right now, but I don't know if those are necessarily viable in terms of proper pollinating. Let's see. Yeah, just kind of swapping. This stayed in the same place. I moved, for the time being, this Aglaonema, I think it's Spring Snow, might be its cultivar's name. It's there in the corner for the moment because I moved Frankenstein, my Philodendron Macaulay's finale, over here next to the humidifier while this new leaf is unfurling. But he'll be moved back eventually, probably. Let's see. My begonia that I shocked into dropping all of its foliage and flowering is putting out some new leaves finally, so that's good. I still might cut it back, who knows. It does look like it's starting to do something down here, so maybe it'll turn out, oh yeah, down here as well. So maybe it won't be so bad in the state it's in and I don't have to prune it. My ZZ from my grandmother as well is putting out new shoots, yay! Ooh, let's not hit the plants. You probably won't be able to see what's behind the window here, so we'll just ignore that for now. I have to do this again at night sometime when the window is not super bright. Yeah, this is where I moved. This is, let me get to a better spot here. This is my Euphorbia bioensis. And it hasn't needed water. It needs cleaning though. There's a lot of like dust and I assume maybe cat fur and maybe some spider webs from a spider covering the, I think they're technically thorns on a Euphorbia. But yeah, it hasn't needed much water, so I am keeping it up here for the time being so I really don't have to water it until closer to spring. Same with my cactus here that I don't really know the name of. I got this a few years ago and it's probably doubled in size by now. All these little bits. I should probably pop some off and share it. And then I need another euphorbia. I also haven't ID'd officially. I probably could if I really put some time into looking it up. But yeah, also didn't need water, so I'm holding off on that as well. And yeah, I hung this light. It's temporarily hanging awkwardly. I don't particularly like it, but I wanted to see what kind of light it gave off and if the plants end up liking it. So did that as well. In the plant rearrangement room, I showed this was on the table here. The table was just cluttered, so cluttered. But I potted the two pots up together, and so that's where we're at. Hoya obovata. Yeah. And this pretty much stayed the same. I haven't gotten a pendant light like I talked about yet, so I need to do some price comparing. I just need something basic, and then I can put a grow light like the GE grow bulb on a pendant light or something similar. So it doesn't have to be too fancy, and the only place I went to so far was too fancy. I was like, I don't need it to be that pretty of a light fixture. So yeah, that's really about it, change-wise. So if you enjoyed this content, remember to like and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.